Let's talk about painting doors and molding rapidly and as quickly as possible on the job site. Gotta have the right tools. Number one, I want to suggest to you that for a door, you purchase a Purdy roller. This is a 1/2 inch nap. That's how deep the fuzzy is. And it is a 4.5 inch wide roller. Now on doors, you could use a 9 inch roller, and I have. You can do that. But I don't have a 9 inch roller for this. And so I'm gonna show you a nice way to do it. First of all, we come up and we tape the door off. Just check this out. We get everything taped off. The guys even caulked it, I see. They caulked it so no paint got through. Very nice. And the hinges, let's just see the hinges down there. They didn't actually, they did it as if we were spraying it, which is fine. All you gotta do is just tape one side of it. And of course the window, we wanna get in there and tape it. And if you really wanna be perfect, you put a little bead of caulking in there. But let's talk about how we paint this quickly, okay? Now, when you're doing trim on a door, you never wanna have a loaded brush. Okay, so knock some of that paint off because it'll run down the door. So you wanna get in these little crevices real quickly. The whole thing with painting a door is that you wanna keep a wet edge. What does that mean? That the whole door is done in sections. And the sections you're doing it in, pay attention to the fact that nothing is drying. So it's called keeping a wet edge. So you have to work quickly. So you don't want to paint this, right? And then come back in 10 minutes and go right near it. That's going to show. So if you paint the door, let me just explain like this. If I start going like this, right? And I keep coming here. Well, the edge, this is the edge. You want to keep that wet. And so you would simply quickly move over here. And then you move down here. You see, this is still wet. And so it's all gonna dry at the same time, right? That's how you do it. Now, when you're painting a flat surface like this, I suggest that you use satin. Satin shows very few imperfections on the surface. But we're gonna do one step better. We're not only gonna use a brush to do this, but if you did use a brush, you get a good quality Purdy brush, and you can do it, you just keep a wet edge. So everything's wet at the same time. Nothing is drying while you're doing it. You see now, this is drying, but we don't have to touch this again. But this is wet, and this is where you're going off of. This is where your lap marks will come from if you're not careful. So that's all wet, right? So you're keeping your wet edge. And the door will look like it was sprayed. That's the whole idea. Okay, so you know how to get around these little things with the brush, but we're going to step it up here. I'm going to introduce you to a nice roller. Okay? Please. Thank you. So, this is my Purdy, this is my extension. Okay, they didn't have the 6 inch, so I bought the longer one. I have plenty of these things. And this is for behind what's called radiators. In New York, we used to call them radiators, where the heat, you get behind them nice and easy. Well, let's say behind a fridge, right? You want to get in there? This will give you, your arm is 2 or 3 feet, right? You get in there like that, and you extend, you can get behind a lot of things. So, brush, please. So, you want to brush first, right? You want to cut with the brush first. This way, when you roll, you're just filling in to go quickly. But you know your roller can't get up against here. So that's why we're brushing in there. And you can go back and forth, but now here's what I want you to do. You're working on a flat surface. You must finish the stroke in the one direction. You can't finish it like this. You want to finish it like this, look. See that? That makes it universal. You go in the same direction. Now I'm going back and forth, but I'm going to finish it like that. See, that's the big difference. Now, my roller's loaded up. Watch this. Look at that nice, big, thick amount of paint going on there. Now watch this. I'm going back and forth, short strokes. Last stroke, same idea with the brush. You go all the way up, come all the way down. Don't touch that again. Overlap that by 50%. Go all the way up, come down. That's done. Don't touch it again. Back and forth, back and forth. Why? You want to fill in all the little nooks and crannies. Up and down, done. 50% overlap, go up and down, done. Come down. Now, with the door, I suggest, since you have a nice long extension, you do the whole length of the door. Okay? Now, you see the bottom of the door isn't painted here? So we're going to get our brush action going. I really should have something under the edge because, you know, we all make mistakes, right? And you could easily hit the floor. Okay. So now, let's do this together. Come on, please take a brush. Now, I'm loading it up really well here. Watch this. All the way up, all the way down. Got some glue on my door, guys. Didn't clean the door well enough. You can even go like this. It doesn't matter. As long as you finish like this. Now, you could also do your door sideways if you wanted to. You could do this as long as you finish in the same direction. But we're not going to do that. We're going to finish down, right? I'm overlapping each stroke by 50%. It's just a rule, that's all. Gotta do it. If you try to do this, show them close. Look, if you went like this, right? And then went right to the edge. Come on, that's ridiculous. The rule is you gotta go like this. Look, I'm finishing here with the stroke, and then I'm overlapping it 50%. The reason being, every square inch gets painted twice on the first coat. That's why. And even on the second. So there you have it. That's how you paint the door. Pretty simple. But actually, a lot of people paint their doors wrong, especially on flat surface doors. You have to keep the whole door wet at the same time. If you have panels, you could cheat. You fill in each panel or whatever. But here it's a flat door. You got to come up with a system where you're painting the whole thing, keeping a wet edge, overlapping 50%, and using the right tools to get the job done right. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the section below. Click on like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one.